Welcome everyone to today's Intelligence Strategy Brief. Thanks for being here to get to the bottom of the current regional crisis we are having. I am Morgan Tai. I have an extensive background working within the Israeli government for quite a while. Let's get into it. First, I'll be describing the current incidents and what is known as the shadow drone enigma. Last month, a wave of unidentified drone incursions disrupted critical infrastructure along Israel's borders with Lebanon and Syria. What is unique is that these drones have executed strikes with precision against our military outposts and energy facilities, all before vanishing without a trace. It's been very quiet surrounding who is to blame for this, but what hasn't been quiet is the disinformation campaigns flooding media channels, some even turning this whole thing against us and claiming Israel is staging the attacks. We are in dire need of a quick, responsive, and strategic intelligence response. The likely perpetrators for these attacks include the most likely suspect, Iran-backed proxy groups, specifically Hezbollah, who is operating from Lebanon, and Iranian-aligned militias in Syria, considering the attacks are along our borders with them. Iran's Quds Force, part of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, serves as the main point of contact with Iran's proxy groups. Iran backing political and armed groups in the Middle East provides them with a more cost-effective and low-risk way to project power, all while avoiding direct war. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, Hezbollah has helped Iran bridge Shiite Arab-Persian divides and helped Iran support the Bashar al-Assad regime in the civil war in Syria, where it worked to bring other militias to the regime's defense. The secondary suspect is direct involvement from Iran. They could be carrying out direct operations, all while maintaining plausible deniability. This could be due to the such high precision of strikes, suggesting Iran is using its most advanced unmanned vehicles that its proxy groups do not have the exact technology for. The sophistication of the disinformation campaigns could also be linked to Iran's Ministry of Intelligence and Security, or MOIS, that operates the Department of Disinformation. The MOIS also works with the Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting to target television channels to spread disinformation and propaganda, both domestic and foreign. In this photo here are the countries and territories with Iran-backed militias as of January 2026. To understand how the drone incursions are so-called shadows, we need to understand the operational methods behind the likely suspects. In late 2024, Hezbollah obtained Ababil 2, Mohajir 4, and Shahed 129 drones passed by a land bridge that had led from Iran to Lebanon via Syria. Hezbollah does have domestic manufacturing capability, which allows for continuous replenishment. These Iranian-made drones can maneuver in different directions at a range of speeds, creating unpredictability. They have built-in GPS systems, thereby creating a high degree of accuracy for navigation, and according to the Rusi journal, the Ababil and Shahed 129 drones can travel up to 100 kilometers and up to 1,800 kilometers, respectively, in a single flight. This picture right here depicts the ranges of Iranian UAVs in Lebanon. Based on what has already been struck by the drones, such as military outposts and energy facilities, the suspects are likely targeting strategic and vulnerable infrastructure. Usage of these drones could have initially struck Israeli radar systems to keep our air defense in the dark for follow-on waves. Other future military targets include forward operating bases and installations along the borders, such as the Golan Heights. Power plants and storage facilities are vulnerable targets, as well as targets that serve as a dual use, such as high transportation and communication areas. Depicted in this photo is Israel's military positions on part of the Golan Heights. Now that we have assessed the situation, it's time to develop a comprehensive intelligence strategy based off of Israel's full intelligence arsenal. Starting off with deploying our SIGINT capabilities, we will utilize Unit 8200 to incorporate defensive and offensive cyber tools. Thanks to their large antennas and receptors, its SIGINT base, specifically Urim, will be able to intercept communications of both friendly and enemy nations across the Middle East. With the spread of disinformation going around, this is the perfect time for Israel to employ its highly capable OSINT capabilities with our cutting-edge technology and artificial intelligence to sort through open data, analyze commercial satellite imagery, and overall detect where the narratives are coming from to put a stop to it. As for MASINT capabilities and utilizing our advanced technology, seizing drone debris and analyzing its electromagnetic emissions and signatures will be crucial to understand how to detect them in the future. Moving on to our HUMINT capabilities, Mossad is in charge of HUMINT and has established strong networks throughout the Middle East. Through covert operations, we can gather insights on Hezbollah and other proxy groups, as well as Iranian leadership to help understand their planning and which supply chains they are using. By integrating human with Amman, who is in charge of military intelligence, and Shabak, or Shin Bet, who is Israel's counterintelligence and internal security service, we can use our human to validate our technical intelligence and uncover the intent behind the shadow drone enigma. Lastly, to utilize our GEOINT capabilities, we can use our constellation of satellites to monitor suspected areas from which drones can be launched from, as well as tracking the movement of mobile platforms, since some of the drones can be launched off the back of a truck. To gain a better common operating picture, analyzing our space-based ISR will help to identify patterns and repeated activity. Because there is so much information flooding channels and we need a response very quickly, the role of artificial intelligence will be needed. By automating collection, analysis, and response processes, we can greatly reduce human error while overall enhancing operational efficiency. Some AI applications that could be used are machine learning and SIGINT. This will benefit Unit 8200 in detecting inconsistencies in communications. Pattern recognition in MASINT could also be beneficial because, like mentioned earlier, we're wanting to analyze the signatures of the drones, and pattern recognition could help to quickly match drone signatures with known measurements in databases. With incorporating AI into our operations comes potential risks and the need to address ethics. In order to avoid bias, AI must be trained on a multitude of diverse datasets, not just one or two. To prevent misinterpretation, we will still have to validate our findings and compare information across the intelligence disciplines. Most importantly, we need transparency and accountability across the board, so we must document the methodologies AI is using so we know how conclusions are being produced. In conclusion, the most likely actors are Iran-backed proxies. The threat is ongoing, with precision strikes from drones, as well as disinformation is continuing to spread. Success of our operations in uncovering the shadow drone enigma will depend on the speed and accuracy of our analysis, keeping our tight-knit relationships with intelligence organizations, and responsible use of AI. Thank you.